Oh, okay, so previous experiences to be believed, that is going to be something that appears in the list of videos, so I'm going to skip right over that. This here, though, new animation, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, Statue of Liberty was Earth all along. You blew it up, you bastards. Damn you all to hell. It's not like there are windows. Holy shit, that's dangerous. Periscopes up and everything. It's a long one. Oh, okay, so it wasn't going anywhere. Alright. Wonder how that idea got pitched. So, bro, this is submarine. It goes underground. Grind session. And then it's, like, underwater, and it goes into a tunnel. And then it, like, blows something up, and then goes by, and then, like, the logo, you know, it's like, in the sand, bro. Trust me, bro, it'll be great. Any grind session. A Sony computer, another Sony published game. There were a lot of these things. A lot of these things in this era. I mean, Tony Hawk came out, and everybody was just all over that shit. Oh, alright. Oh no. Licensed soundtrack. Oh, down he goes. I don't know how to play this. Score at least 1 point. Oh, there we go. Again, like I've said a million times, late-gen PlayStation 1 games looking pretty good. I mean, there's definitely an image in my head of what a... Okay. There's definitely an image in my head of what a PlayStation game looks like. And of course, nothing really ever gets past sort of the texture warping and the nearest neighbor interpolation of textures and all that kind of stuff. Texture resolutions and sort of the low polygon counts and all that kind of stuff. Nothing was ever going to get past that in terms of visual design. But a lot of developers, especially towards the end of that generation, were able to do... Oh wow, the escalator's more like a conveyor belt. Oh. Somehow landed that. Alright, nothing special there. It was amazing what they could pull off with this machine once given the chance. Legend of Dragoon. Oh, okay, this is probably the... Oh, it's a video. I thought it was a demo. I was about to say this was the only demo on the disc that I actually remembered. But it's not a demo, it's just a video. So I don't remember there being a video of this. So far I don't remember this disc at all. Legend of Dragoon, other than the demo, which I guess was in a later disc, is a game that I never actually played. Because, you know, didn't play everything. Was that... I think it was another Sony published game. And I think reviews at the time saying, you know, like, yeah, it's alright, but it's nothing special. It was actually a game that I had the option of borrowing from a friend at school, but he had brought it in and asked me if I wanted to play it, but at the time I was into playing something else at the time. So in that moment I wasn't looking for something else, so I just sort of didn't. Deception 3 Dark Delusion. What the hell's this? It's a demo. Definitely get an impression the further I get into this series, especially with the PlayStation 1 demo discs, the less and less I remember. What am I supposed to do here? Story mode wasn't something I can click into. Oh boy, is there no... there's no... just the tutorials I play through? Alright, so... training. I can only do training. The deeper and deeper I get into this list of demo discs, especially in the PlayStation 1 era, where I had more and more games to play. Okay. What an oddly dressed person. Oh my god, this is so weird. The deeper I get into these videos, the as I've tried saying a dozen freaking times. Oh, it's a girl. Again, the deeper I get into these demo discs, the... Oh, alright. The more and more I run into discs that I didn't play a whole lot. And I'm at this point where I'm not sure I even remember this at all. Like, this is not ringing any bells to me. Like, in fact, I've even forgotten what this is called. Oh. So it's like I'm setting traps, and then, I mean, it's another surprisingly detailed game world. Although the walls look a little, the environments look a little bit bland in some ways. There's not a lot of, say, environment to look at, which is honestly a little bit surprising considering what developers had to do on the PlayStation 1 to avoid like serious texture warping, which involved sort of subdividing the environment up so you're not looking at any one texture over a large space, so there are like a number of perspective angles to consider. But and if you're doing that, you might as well. Looked up and saw it, then it hit him. If you have a lot of, detail in the sense of a lot of vertices and lines and stuff in a flat wall, you might as well place them at different positions in order to. You might as well put them in a lot of positions in order to just ensure that you are getting your textures out right, but it gives you a little bit more detail so the wall isn't like completely flat like I'm looking at right here. Alright, I've had enough of this. And you see that in later gen games like Medal of Honor and all that kind of stuff. WWF Smackdown. I had a video of this earlier, and now here's a demo. It's been a long time since I actually played Smackdown, which was the first Ukes WWF game released on the PlayStation. Ukes had done Power Move Pro Wrestling, which was the first wrestling game I had played on PlayStation 1. I guess I'm Stone Cold versus himself. Oh, okay. Trips versus Stone Cold. Power Move Pro Wrestling was the first wrestling game I had played on the PlayStation, and in its day, it was actually, like, I thought it was really good. I mean, it was more or less this. I think it, well, if I remember correctly, because it's something that I haven't played in way longer than Smackdown, and it was a fairly early PlayStation 1 game. It was a little bit slower than this, and it didn't quite look as good, but I thought it was cool because it had more or less the same controls. No. I'm playing as Triple H, in case you're wondering. When Smackdown came out, I played the crap out of this game. This was awesome. Especially since the old Acclaim games. Was it Acclaim? The old Acclaim games on the N64 never came out for the... what am I talking about? The old Acclaim games, I mean, they weren't bad for their era, for how the games played back in their day, but they were difficult to control because they played more like fighting games of the era where you need to input complex button animations in order to pull off any special moves or whatever. Which is fine for like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter, but not so good for a wrestling game. Then THQ and Ukes came out with stuff for the N64, PlayStation, like Power Move, and the WCW games, which were the big deal. And that just changed the whole dynamic, the way it controls. Good move, that flying knee. I remember matches not lasting very long in this, in comparison to like the more modern WWE games. Oh, I took a stunner. And he took it like The Rock, he sold it like The Rock. Oh, it doesn't go for a pin. What are you doing, Austin? I lost track of what I was talking about. Okay, I have a finisher saved up. I think you press select, is it, to... I think it's select. I'm having a hard time remembering how to play this game. And I took another stunner. Not sure how I took that. He didn't have a finisher saved up. I didn't press any buttons. I wanted that to end. Very fast-paced that game is. The modern games are unfortunately much slower, and matches take forever. X-Men Mutant Academy, this is a fighting game, if I remember correctly. I remember I got Smackdown probably on release. So it's Cyclops and Wolverine. I got Smackdown pretty much on release. So I don't know if this demo came out before or after the game released. I'm gonna work under the impression that it came out after, and that's probably why I don't remember this disc, because I didn't play it a lot. It's quite a forearm you got there, Cyclops, if you can block claws like that. It's sort of like in the vein of the modern Mortal Kombat games, in the sense that it's a 2D fighter in any gameplay respect. The characters are limited to a 2D plane, but they use 3D character models in a 3D environment. I didn't remember any games really doing that back then. I thought everybody's like, you get that 3D environment and you want to make it a 3D fighter, which, I mean, Soul Calibur and all of that are fine, but like Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 were 2D fighters in a 3D environment. I didn't know anybody was really doing this back then. This is not very good. I mean, maybe I'm just not very good at it. Come on, at least get one round. There we go. Another one that looks pretty good. I mean, the environment's got a surprising amount of detail, and so do the character models. Haha, you like that shit, you little doof.
Upper blast.
Upper blast, he said that. Upper blast. Wedgie pick.
Upper blast.
And probably talks about everything he ever does. Massive shit. Eating cheesesteak. I don't know. Taking shit. Oh, alright. Maybe we shouldn't make fun of him. He did win. It's the Empire State Building we're next to. I'm just gonna cheese out a bunch of times. Alright, so maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe I should just let him win so I can stop playing this. Yeah, I let him win. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Moving on. Or not. Or not. Oh, it's loading. Threads of Fate. I don't... No, I remember the name. Another... Oh, it's a Square game. I remember the name. It's definitely a game I never owned. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if my emulator supports it. Rue Mint. Now I'm a homeless bum. Yeah, this is all very fascinating. She's so dead. Once they get the relic, it's all over. Oh, I didn't read that. Well, she has an HP meter. So is this an RPG or is this a... Whatever these things are, I don't think they deserve me beating them to death. Alright. Yeah, I got it. Oh. Ah. Oh, that green shit. I don't know if you want to be walking around in that, whatever your name is. Oh, fantastic. I guess it's an action RPG? But, 3D character, 3D environment. There is a bit of a clash that I don't much care for in the art style, where you have the characters with very anime-style appearances, and then you have the environment with a much more realistic style, like of textures and all that kind of stuff. Beat the shit out of a plant. I mean, I definitely see a very RPG heavy, with like the amount of damage you're doing appears as HP. I'm stuck. What am I supposed to do here? Do I gotta kill this? Die, damn it. Can I go up? I mean, I'm not entirely on one plane of movement. I can move the character back and forth. Oh, alright. There's a doorway over there. Jimmy Carter. Oh no, Gerald Ford. My bad. Why do you have that weird smirk on your face? They all do. Even the girl being held hostage. Oh, alright. Mint, that's her name. Oh, she came back. She's not going anywhere. Alright, boss battle. Just beat them to death with your Olympic rings. Alright, one's out. Oh, they're both gone. You can have the number in there, write it as text. Don't just write the 5. Spell it out. Relic, really? Everybody was after that relic. It's the new rage. Oh, jeez. Self-interest. Oh, just disappeared. Probably shouldn't run around calling yourself princess like that. People are going to think you're insane. Platforming in an RPG. Oh, okay, they're fine. Oh, he's fine, but he's got a smile on his face. The other character. Oh, you have a rival. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not reading any of this. Then jump down and find out. There's no fall damage. Oh, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it too. Oh, keeps going. What is this thing? Beating the shit out of a guinea pig. Am I in a tree? I'm in a cave. It's like limits to how far she'll fall. I mean, it's an interesting game, not something I'd be interested in playing, but it's interesting, isn't it? Alright, where's it at? Oh, here it is. Didn't have to go far. Oh, it's dead. Oh, there's more than one. Fight the gargoyle, not the gargoyles. Be a little bit more specific. Oh, it came back to life. It's dodging my magic, little bastard. is happening? Alright, I can't have this taking too long. Okay, in a first for this series, I had to split up the recording of this episode of Demo Disc Theater because I ran out of time. I had to leave. And picking it up a week and a half later. So, I would have restarted the entire episode, but I already recorded like 25 minutes or so. So, I'm a little bit lazy. Plus, I wanted to preserve the sort of first experience diving back into the demo disc of when if I re-recorded that, I wouldn't have. I'd have to fake it. Gauntlet Legends. Gauntlet was, of course, an arcade game, and my experience with it was through the NES port of Gauntlet, which was... do I really have to do this? The NES port of Gauntlet, which MLE. Good enough. Oh, crap. I screwed it up. Well, anyway, I had the NES version of Gauntlet, which I guess was a passable port. I didn't, played it for a while, and it was what it was, but by that point that I'd gotten it, Gauntlet wasn't really a big deal anymore. Nobody really cared. So, you know. Midway. Midway, I guess, was what made the original Gauntlet. I don't know. There we go. My name is A. I don't remember this demo at all, so this is going to be weird. Oh, yeah, that's right. All attacks in Gauntlet were projectiles. This 3D take on Gauntlet is certainly different. You know, this kind of... Alright. You know, this kind of take on gameplay became more popular. I mean, it's sort of I don't want to make a comparison to Diablo or anything like that, but there were a couple of Tomb Raider games which came out in the last few years which had this kind of perspective and gameplay styles. So I'd say that this kind of thing actually became a little bit more popular in more recent years. Perhaps this was a little bit ahead of its time, even though this was towards the end of the PlayStation 1 era, and developers by this point had some experience in developing 3D games and all that kind of stuff. It's still definitely misrepresenting the era to say that this is anything other than the early days of 3D gaming. So all the developers are really still spending a lot of time throwing things at the wall to see what still works. These things are just infinitely spawning, aren't they? Yeah, there they are. They did in the old Gauntlet games, too. You would have to destroy the things that that they spawned from. Did I open the door? Oh, alright. There's a key.
Keys to open doors and chests.
Thanks. They definitely put some effort into making it feel like a Gauntlet game. It's not a Gauntlet game in name only. The gameplay style is here. The finding keys, opening doors, infinitely spawning enemies until you destroy their spawn point. I wonder if the developers... Pineapple. I wonder if the developers of the original Gauntlet were involved in this. It's a little hard to... I mean, the era of developing from one generation to the next, it was a pretty significant change. And there were a lot of new people entering. And so, like, I wonder how many of the developers that made the old 2D games really made that... bothered sticking around long enough to make that transition into 3D games, because it is different. Come on, kill it. This guy's got a bomb. Ah. There we go. Who are you? Oh. Oh, he's hurting. Hurts. You fucker. Get out of the way. Oh, alright. Moving on. He's counter-attacking automatically. It's not something I'm doing. I'm almost dead. Oh, that's probably a good thing, right? I didn't read that. It's probably important, right? I went back where I was started. Oh, I guess it's like a shield. Money. The shifting camera angles are a little bit awkward. What is that? Is that a T-bone steak? Oh, it pretty much is. Or a ribeye. Keys are everywhere. Jeez. This level is bigger than I would have expected. Whoa, teleport. You know what? There were teleporting things in the old Gauntlet games, too. Huh. Ah, shit. I'm guessing there's only so many of these things that will spawn. So many already, though. Maybe I should just accept death and move on. Alright, so I probably gotta go back, right? Unless this is a door. It is a door. There's a key in it. That doesn't necessarily do me any good. Oh, there we are. Num-nums. There was a single player EverQuest game that I think played in this style. I forget what it was called, but it was a thing. I wouldn't say it was any good, but it was a thing. Was it single player, or was it like a limited multiplayer? Not an MMO, like EverQuest is mostly known for being. Whoa, boss battle. Well, perhaps not a boss battle, but something that needs to die. How do I get past this fucker? And I'm dead. Yes, quit. That went on for 10 minutes. It's a long time. Vanishing Point. What is this? A racing game, obviously, but you know, I remember the name, but I don't remember this video, or I don't think I ever played it. I mean, it looks impressive, but I mean, who knows what it plays like. I'm not a big racing game fan. Oh, well. Okay. So it's a little bit more like Burnout and less like Gran Turismo. Huh. Yeah, I'm not interested. Especially given there are certain genres which have aged so poorly in comparison to others. I'd say racing is one of those. First-person shooters are another. There was an era where I'd say probably up until perhaps Half-Life 2. First-person shooters that were even a little bit old were just terribly out of date. Like, you had Doom and you had Wolfenstein 3D, and those have their like early first-person shooter nostalgic feel to them. But if you fast forward a little bit, like the original Quake or the original Unreal, or hell, even the original Half-Life, I'll throw into this category. If you look a couple of years into the future, the genre had evolved so far that they have such an outdated feel to them. And I would say it was probably Half-Life 2, which was the turning point where the genre had evolved far enough where even Half-Life 2, which is a game that is 15 years old now, still feels somewhat modern in the way that the controls and the way that it plays and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember this either. Did I already see this video? It's been a week and a half. I knew that Lego games were something that oh, you know what? I do remember this demo, this video. I don't remember if it's something that I'd seen recently or not. The Lego games are something that occurs to me was something that came about in the PlayStation 2 era. And they were movie licensed things, which is what I associate them with, like Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars, that kind of thing. But I guess Lego games were around before then, because I'm looking at one now. I don't know what Rock Raiders is. I don't know if that's a license or if that's just something that Lego did. Rhapsody. I saw this one, right? Yes. Yeah.